out getting better at it. It looked like against the zone the other night that you guys were pretty crisp.
Yeah, we did. You know what? And we knew we were going to play against zone. We actually thought it might not be the entire game, but it really was. And I do think that we settled in with the different lineups and got the good ball movement. And we could see a little bit of zone tomorrow against Wake, but you know, they're really a different team in the fact they're really down, putting pressure on you at 94 feet, great length. But we know that we still got some work to do ourselves.
Well, they're one of the better assist teams in the country. Is that from that ball?
Yeah, and I think the way we're not a heavy ball screen team, and a lot of what we do is based on cutting, passing, guys knowing what we're looking for and our different things that we do. But I think we've got a group of guys that understand that we want to get out and run. We want to get to our space and transition, and hope it doesn't go much further than that. But and the other night, Jordan Bone did a great job of really attacking the elbows and being able to get early post up, and us getting some work done there.
This is one of a few SEC, ACC matchups this week. I was just wondering, where do you think the league is right now as you get closer to league competition? How do you think y'all fared in non-conference play? You know,
I don't know. I don't know that because you look around college basketball, there's been some crazy scores and games, but I can tell you, I've been really impressed with Danny Manning and his team. They, you go back and look, they lost some players, but they're young players. They've gotten better. They've got great length. They've got as much depth on the front line as we've played all year. And that's going to be a concern with their length and their front line depth. But they're a young team, and you go back and watch them anytime. You all know how much respect we have for Davidson College, and for them to beat that team and control the game the way they did, to me, speaks volumes.
Rick, you guys have 3 guys playing about 32 minutes a game right now. Is that too high right now, or is that a tribute to Lamonte being out?
Yeah, I think it has. With Lamonte out, John Fulkerson didn't play the other night. There's no doubt we've had to shorten our bench, but this time of year, would you like to have guys playing fewer minutes? Yes, but games dictate that. But at this point in time, you know, after we get through tomorrow, we'll have a couple days off, and hopefully when we get back, we'll have the full allotment of players back.
You mentioned a number of times needing to stop the ball defensively. When you've had those breakdowns there, what specifically has it been that's allowed those drives?
Ball screen defense, where our guard hasn't pushed up and gotten back in front of the ball, and we got stretched out too much with our post player, or our post guy getting up there late or getting out too far, giving that gap. And we got better as the game went on the other day, really, by just catching it, and we had to switch, an emergency switch. We did that, but that's where we've been hurt more than anything on our ball screen defense. Our guards not pushing up when the screen's called, because you really could get through the screen. They're sitting on the screen as opposed to pushing up and getting past it.
Is John going to practice today?
Yeah, I think so. I saw him back there. He looked like he was getting ready to go. And he would have played the other night if we would have needed him, but he seems to be better.
And I'm sure you didn't want it to go that way. How glad were you that Jalen got to play 12 minutes?
Again, you have to think as a coach down the road, the minutes he's getting, the minutes with Lamonte being out, the minutes Yves Pons has got has been big for us. Jalen, I thought Derek was good the other night, and he was a little bit under the weather, but he came in and picked up a couple fouls again because of perimeter defense, because he had to get over there to help, but he was a step behind doing it. But yet I thought his minutes were good. I thought he was very good offensively, but yeah, I think with what we've gone through right now, that these minutes at Jalen and Yves and Derek and even Folky, those are big minutes for us down the road.
And this, how good does it feel to have a veteran team? Because you played some crazy lineups the other night, and it seemed like you were able to put guys, Admiral down at the 4, Grant was the 5-man. I mean, how is it?
Well, that's the one thing we haven't really been able to do that we did a lot last year at the end of the year, is go with that smaller lineup where you had Lamonte, Bowden, and Bone. We haven't done that. We haven't been able to do that. And a year ago, we pretty much basically finished games that way, which, again, if we can get back to that'll help us, and that's what we would call our small team, and we know when we do that, it changes a lot inside, because now you've got all 5 guys that can stretch the defense on the perimeter, but that's the only lineup we really haven't been able to see very much.
Rick, with the guys getting beat there on the perimeter, you've talked about exposing the guys on the back end. Are the guys in the backcourt getting beat off the bounce? Are they getting lost with some picks? I think the big part of it is
I mean, I could put it on me too, you know, in terms of what we've tried to do with our defense. You know, a year ago we were a different team. You know, we're really down 3 guards right now. When you take James Daniel, Chris Darrington, and Lamonte Turner out of it, we were able to wear guards down a year ago. We haven't been able to do that, so we've had to adjust a little bit there. And what it gets down to, and that's a great question, in the fact that our guards are looking around for those ball screens as opposed to just staying locked in on guarding their man. And when you start looking around and start jumping before the screen's called out, you're opening up gaps. And we're doing some of that. And as much as we've talked about it, we've tried to stay consistent with the covers that we like best, but it goes back to the guy on the ball just staying locked into the ball until he hears that screen. And when he hears it, then he's got to do his job, and we're not there where we need to be yet.
I know we all asked you about Jordan the other night, but when you went back and watched the tape, was it as good as it looked live?
I thought he was really good offensively. I do, and you know, he's a guy that he played a lot of minutes, and you know, a year ago he couldn't play that long time. That's where he's really improved too. But and he had a tough matchup. I mean, both of those little guards were controlling the game. I mean, you go back and look at the tape; they both had the ball in their hands a lot. But yeah, I think he was good. I think again, his whole deal now is going to be consistency. Can he continue to grow and continue to get better?
Just in general, how do you think this team's done in terms of just handling the expectations from the outside that have been so different going into this?
Yeah, well, I think fine. You go back a month ago, I said that, you know, from last year, February on, you know, we were the highest ranked SEC team, and we finished strong with everybody. You know, you got a number in front of your university's name, and that becomes a red letter game for everybody to build their resume. And so last year we had to deal with some of that. Now, what we didn't deal with until this year was all the talk throughout the summer, fall, all that. And I look back at these guys, yeah, I think they've done a good job. And we haven't had, we're not the same team we were a year ago. We're not. We haven't had our whole team really, you think about it, all year. But I think from that point of view, I think you got to say that they've done a great job with it.
I know we've asked you a lot about kind of Lamonte and his status and whether he'd be able to play the next game, but how is he handling everything? Because he's always been kind of seen as such a tough guy, and this has got to be kind of a tough thing for him to deal with.
I think it's one of the toughest things he has had to deal with, you know. And I've had shoulder surgery on both shoulders, and I can tell you some days I move it better than others. But I'm older, and I don't have to do what he has to do. But I'm still stronger, I think. You know. But the fact is, you know, I think it's hard on him. I do. I think it's hard because, you know, he is a competitor, but when you feel like you can't do certain things, it's tough.
Two more, we got him.
You guys want to talk to Jimmy Dykes? He's right here. We'll take you to the table right now, you know.
Yeah. Thank you. Can't top that.
Wake had that loss to Houston Baptist. It got a lot of attention a few weeks ago. When you're looking on film, what's the difference in them now versus back before that game?
They're young, and they're getting better and better, and came back, and like I said, against Davison, who is a very difficult team to defend. I think they have really created their true identity in terms of how they want to play. They want 94 foot of pressure, and they want to get back. They're going to challenge you, and like I said, they've got great length now. They've got a couple young guys that you watch them play, and Danny is probably as good as there is teaching young guys in the post how to play, and I just see him doing more and more, and this team becoming more and more like the kind of player that I think Danny is, that they're going to keep getting better and better and better, and again, his front line is young, but he's doing a great job with them.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.